Here's the problem with predictions. It takes away your very birthright, and that is the power to choose. Hi, I'm Jodine Sher of Lifeology, your personal transformation coach. And I'm going to start off with being absolutely transparent. If you haven't spent time with me and you don't know who I am, I have had a passion for travel for a lot of my life, but didn't do it because I was just not brave enough to get out there enough in the world. Last year, 2022, on a trip that the universe definitely coordinated in a whole lot of ways that got me stuck in the UK, having to be brave, I decided to give everything up that I own and become a nomad. Because of that, I'm always in different environments. And in those environments, sometimes I can't find the perfect place to record. The home that I'm in now, there's lots of stuff everywhere. No matter how I try, there's going to be stuff in the background. There's going to be odd sounds wherever I am. And the reason why I'm sharing it is because I haven't been putting content out as freely because of just sometimes being in unusual spaces. So that's it. I'm just doing what I do in the space that I'm in because I love what I do so much. So the other transparency is that I'm also going to be reading a lot of what I wrote in this blog post about the predictions for 2023. Because first of all, there's some stuff that I need to quote. But also when I wrote the blog post, I was so in the moment and I expressed myself so perfectly. Some of you are going to be listening to this on podcast. So even when I'm talking about the background, you don't know what I'm talking about. I do all of my content recordings at one time. So many of us content creators do. But if you are on podcast and you don't follow me, so you haven't really seen my journey and what it all looks like, then find me on Instagram, find me on TikTok. I'm Jodine Sher everywhere. Please connect with me. I'm so passionate about my story. I'm not expecting everyone to become a nomad, but I'm really hoping that I guide people to live their most authentic selves, like just to wish to understand themselves so that the choices and the decisions that you make give you a sense of freedom no matter what it looks like. So that's a very important part of my story. So in that, I had a friend of mine, someone who is dear to me, reach out to me, and she said to me, "Oh, she's in an absolute state. She's just read about the Chinese New Year of the Rabbit, was literally the day after the New Year started, and she said she's born in 1973, she's the ox, and it's terrible. I'm also born in 1973. I'm an ox." And so she sent me the article. And in the article, she was right. It's terrible. So in the article, it says, the ox in 1973 will go through unexpected changes. These will not be positive, but negative. Great start, right? They should not lose their jobs. Otherwise, there will be no way to get steady paychecks every month, and life will be in trouble. In their career, they will have bad interpersonal relationships. Whenever they encounter problems in their workplace, they will fall into an isolated and helpless situation. Financially, the ox born in 1973 will not get good income. In terms of love and relationships, they will encounter plenty of troubles. In family life, there will be a lot of problems, either between husband and wife or between parent and child. In terms of health, they will be prone to some accidents and bloodshed in 2023. I could go on, but I'm sure you completely get the picture. I understand that predictions are an important part of what people offer, and so many people they want predictions. I know that you want predictions, but I work with astrology and numerology on a daily basis. And I know that they really have the capacity to be predictive tools, but I am absolutely aware that the way that you read into the energy of how things align, it can make it seem that people are powerful enough to predict into your future. I use the tools to give you insight in and an understanding into who you are and how the energies are there to support you all the time. The universe and the energies are always there to support you. It's obvious that everyone is currently looking for a silver lining because, I mean, since 2020, it just feels like uncertainty has become more uncertain. It just feels like we need the predictions because people are holding on and they just want to be free of the fears that keep on coming up. I know that there are so many people who are going, I don't know how much more uncertainty I can tolerate. But this is the problem with predictions, especially in 2023. So within numerology, within astrology, within the Chinese astrology, there are particular energies that are aligned and they will have the impact on all of us, on all of our lives. And it's the same as gravity. Whether we believe in gravity or don't believe in gravity, it's going to impact us. So whether you believe in astrology, numerology, Chinese astrology, whether you believe that Saturn at the moment is making impact, and in 2023 when Pluto makes its huge move after nearly 2 decades from Capricorn into Aquarius, whether you believe that it's going to make impact on you or not, it's going to make impact in some way. And this year in numerology is a 7. So when you take 2023 and you add it all together, you get a 7. And the 7, it brings about energetic learnings and lessons and opportunities. The same goes for anything that's astrological that's happening in this time. And in the 7 year, we're really called to trust the unknown and to learn to witness how we manage the unexpected. It's specifically within the numerology of the 7. So, and what's happened is since 2022, we've become far more sensitive to any kind of unpredictability. And we can't deny that uncertainty is evident in all of our lives. So within this year, any uncertainty that you face, it gives you the opportunity to ask yourself what you can trust in these uncertain times. And the universe is pulling us in this way. It's intentional by the universe. So it's for you to question your faith and to ask yourself, what do I truly believe? It's the energy of the year, and it's the energy. If you do it this year, then you will know what you believe, and it's going to take you into all the years to come. When you have a belief system that has been tried and tested and not just handed down to you, then in uncertain times, you should be able to anchor yourself in knowing that life will turn out the way that it should, and that you are supported, and that as everything unfolds, you are going to get what you are worthy of, what brings you fulfillment and what brings you joy. The other universal question is, during these times of uncertainty, do you know yourself well enough to trust that you are able to manage and navigate any situation, no matter what is thrown at you? But let's just go back to this ox in 1973 who is supposed to be destined to be having such a terrible year. There's no way that I can be true to myself and be a part of that belief anymore, because the way that I understand myself is that anything that comes along is not negative. I'm always energetically aligned to what is best for me. And even when it feels like all the pieces are falling apart, and trust me, since 2020, I have had so many different experiences and things that have happened where it has felt like my world is falling apart. I hold myself in the faith that I established for myself, and I understand who I am, and I know that the next choice is going to shift me to do something that is more aligned with the worthiness of who I am. For me, predictions are humanly impossible. Yes, I know you might say to me, that's not true. Someone predicted something and it came to light, or There are people, great people who predicted things and they all came true. However, first of all, it's few and far between. Otherwise, everyone would have the life that they wanted. Everyone would be running, getting their predictions, and would be doing exactly what the prediction says. But if you play too much into prediction, then you take away the fundamental gift that you were given as your birthright, and that is the power to choose. Everyone either leads a fated life or a destined life. So if you imagine your book of life, just imagine it open on the pages that talks about your life, whether you believe in many lifetimes or only this one, and there's a whole lot of letters floating above this book. With your power to choose, you pick the letters and you tell your story as you go, and you choose your destiny, right? You can only choose from the letters that are floating above, by the way. You don't get to choose the letters, because that is where we never are able to tap into our subconscious and truly understand what is going on. But as soon as something happens, we get the power to choose. Time needs to pass. What happens if you don't want to choose? What happens if you're not confident enough, brave enough, your esteem isn't strong enough for you to choose? Eventually those letters need to just fall where they may. The days have to pass, your story has to be told, and then you end a life, you lead a life that is fated. It's fated. So I believe that if someone's going to tap into your energy of predicting, then they are not tapping into your ability and your power to choose. And they are seeing what could be fated if the letters just land where they will. But for me, it takes away and it disempowers you from your ability to create a truly joyous and abundant life, to bravely embrace all that 2023 has to offer you. I'm asking you, please give yourself the opportunity to stay in the present moment as much as possible. Use your consciousness and your time when you are present. Use it wisely. It's a very important part of the 7 energy to use your time wisely, to understand who you are, to empower yourself with the greatest armor that you can, which is to understand the traits that you have. And my little interjection, because of course it's going to be there, is in my personal transformation coaching. This is what I do. I go through your numerology. I guide you through your astrology to understand your traits and to empower you with knowing who you are. Because in uncertain times, the greatest gift that we can give ourselves into is to anchor ourselves in the certainty of who we are, even if we are learning it along the way. If you feel drawn to any kind of guiding methodologies this year, seek out the ones that empower you to understand what the energies of the numbers, the zodiacs, the planets, what they are just neutrally presenting to you, so that you can then align your own energy for you to flourish and for you to grow. If you are seeking outwardly and relying on predictions because you are afraid of what this year could hold, then again, I'm going to encourage you to turn your curiosity onto yourself and to give yourself with spending as much of this year learning about who you are. The energies are going to support you, because once again, linked into the 7 number, it is the year of knowledge. It's the year of understanding who you are, because it's in these times of uncertainty, it's not going anywhere. In these times of uncertainty that are not going anywhere, the greatest gift, even if it's a slight bit of certainty, is for you to block out anything that anyone can tell you about how life is going to be, and for you to turn your attention to navigate your own journey and gift yourself with knowing that if you know and slowly understand bit by bit who you are, you will understand how you have the power to choose. And then no one can predict where your life is going to go, but it's absolutely guaranteed that you will end up in a place where you are so worthy and where there is so much fulfillment and joy. Please, if you feel that this resonates with anyone, I encourage you to pass it along. If you aren't following me already, whether it's on the podcast or on YouTube. Please find me on any of the social networks. I love being on Instagram. I love my TikTok account. You can also find me on Facebook and follow my profile. I'm very happy to welcome you into my world. And if you need anything, I'm encouraging you at any point, reach out. I do personal transformation. And what I do is I help you return to your authentic self and understand yourself as best as you can. I'm wishing you a very special and brave 2023, and I hope we see each other along the way.